Hi, I'm Liz from Simmons and Bristow. I'm going to give you some advice on how to complete the student record book. That's required if you're doing your training under user choice funding. So Chris, our helpful photographer, is going to come and look over my shoulder, and I'm going to guide you through filling in the student record book. So first up, put your name on it. Let's call you Joe Dirt just for fun. Don't worry if you don't know your traineeship number. Hopefully you do know who you work for. I'm going to put S&B because I work for S&B. So inside the book we've got some instructions on how to use this. The key thing is to fill in the cover page and also the trainee and employer or supervisor details first. So the trainee and employer supervisor details page looks like this. You're going to put in your trainee's name, phone number and address, employer details, and also who the supervisor is that's signing off the book. Now, you should have already agreed with us prior to getting this book who that person's going to be. So that's the easy bit. And the rest of it's pretty easy too. For you as a trainee, you can't leave all this up to your boss. You're meant to be having your brain turned on, and every time you do something you think's relevant to the units you're studying, you're expected to make some entries in the book I'm going to show you in a minute. And your supervisor who's watched you do this stuff or is aware that you've done it needs to sign you off. Guess what? You don't get to madly do it all on the last day and then hand it in. The idea is this is meant to be being completed during the training. So it's not just a one-hit wonder all on one day. Try and mix it up a bit so you're doing different activities across the different units at different times during your training. So now let's have a look at how you do one of these. The employer, if they're comfortable, or your supervisor that's signing you off, if they're comfortable you've actually got your act together and can do all this stuff, first of all, they state their name there, and then they initial in the yes column to say, yep, this person can actually do all this stuff. Now, how are we going to prove that? They're going to do a bit of a record of the sorts of work you've undertaken, and this is where you come in as the trainee. You've got to help them out, be thinking about what you do. So an example might be for the first unit, NWP GEN 001, you've got to prove that you've accessed and interpreted risk management principles. Now there's a few ways you might do this. You might look something up in your organisation's drinking water quality management plan. You put in what equipment you've used, who your supervisor is, the supervisor signs it, and then this is our homework. We get to fill in this final column ourselves as your RTO. Throw the date down that you've done this. Another example could be you've had to look something up in the Australian Drinking Water Guidelines, or maybe your sewage treatment plant discharge consent. It could be you've had to look something up in an Australian standard, for argument's sake, for trenching and excavation, or types of pipe work if you're in the network game. So work your way through these various examples over the course of your training, coming up with ideas of how you've done stuff and what equipment you've used, if any, not mandatory if you've just had a conversation, and there you go. So good example here, main functions of a water supply system. If you've got some sort of SCADA, or if you've got a program like DECO or one of the other mapping software programs that brings up a schematic of your reticulation system, that would be a great way of you showing that you've actually done that you know what the different bits are. So we've got some other units which are going to be personal to you depending on your training program. The environmental unit, think about what your job role is. Think outside the square. An organisational environmental procedure could be that when you're taking the truck of dewatered sludge to the tip, you've got to make sure you don't drop it all over the road. It could be you've got to use sediment and erosion protection. It could be how you dispose of chemicals. So when you come to fill in this bit, think about what you actually do as part of your job and how you're going to help your supervisor and how you as a supervisor are going to demonstrate and sign off that your staff members been able to do it.